please remain standing for the playing of our national anthem. People graduate and go on to the next phase of their lives. I'd like also at this time to take the opportunity to recognize a couple other individuals who are also going through a commencement and going on to the next phase of their lives. We have a fine staff here at Kenton High School, and two of our individuals who have touched the lives of many young people in this community for a large number of years are retiring this year, and I think this is a fine opportunity for us to recognize two individuals who have touched the lives of many people, I'm sure even in the audience. Mr. Gerald McNutt, who's retiring after 29 years of service to the Kenton City Schools, and Mr. Carl McNeil, retiring after 32 years of service. Before we start our commencement exercises, also I think there's another individual who is not here physically, but I'm sure he's here watching. This is a person who was a member of this class of 1993, Thomas Moore, who died in a tragic swimming accident just a year ago this month. I know he has been with this class this year, and I know he's here in the hearts of all these graduates that we have here with us today. If you please join me in just a moment of silence in tribute to the memory of Thomas Moore. Thank you. This time, I'd like to turn the podium over to our Superintendent of Schools, Mrs. Sandra Vassusaru.
Well, soon-to-be graduates, on behalf of the Board of Education and all of the staff, you are a product of your kindergarten, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and all the way through teachers. We're very proud of you today and very proud to recognize you. You have adopted as your class motto, if you can imagine it, you can achieve it. And if you can dream it, you can become it. I hope you will find that your experiences at Kenton High School will enable you to accomplish your dream. We all share very wonderful memories of your time here. I have enjoyed watching you since you were freshmen and seeing your achievements, and I look forward to watching the great things that are to come once you leave Kenton High School. At this time, I would like to introduce our Board of Education. To my far right, Mr. John Roby. Mrs. Carol Shope, sitting next to me. President of our Board of Education, Mr. Edison Klingler, Mr. Dwayne Spencer, and Mr. Max Heilman. It's a pleasure for us to be with you and share this today. I also have this pleasure of introducing a man who is a graduate of Kenton High School. He was in the Kenton High School class of 1967. And his name is Chris Pfister. Chris is the Director of Adult Education at Ohio High Point. And many of you may have family and friends who have participated in the GED programs that we offer here at Kenton High School through Ohio High Point. Or also, they do much on-the-job training for many businesses and offer lots of additional advanced training for those of us who need to improve our skills. And as we said, we watch our graduates, and Chris is one of those, and I'm very happy to introduce him to you today, Chris Pfister.
Thank you, Superintendent Matthew Sarver. Good evening, members of the board, faculty and administration, parents, relatives, and friends, and graduates of the class of 1993. I'm very proud to be a graduate of Kenton High School. I'm also proud of representing Ohio High Point JVS here this evening. I want to give a brief speech this evening, the kind that you'll probably like, short. I think that's what you're looking for, so I'll try not to bore you too much. The first thing I would like to do is recognize the parents here. Parents, do you remember the first day of school for these young people here? Do you remember getting them ready for that? The hopes and the dreams and the fears that you had for them. Well, how will they do through school? Will they be able to get along? And they have done it. They are here, and you should be extremely proud of them. I have one bit of advice for you, and that is, they still need you. Continue to encourage them and stand behind them, but also set them free. This is their time. Set them free. Faculty and administration, you've done it. They're here. They've completed their 13 years of education. And graduates, these teachers, faculty members, administrators have cared about you. They have taught you. They have helped you. They have pushed you. And they are extremely proud of you. And I would like you to show them how you feel about them. Graduates, I want to share with you a very simple message from the heart. And that is, I want to challenge you. I want you to find your greatness. I do not want you to settle for anything less than you can have. I want you to think big. I want you to give yourself permission to have a sense of purpose. Become excited, busy, involved, dedicated to whatever you want to do, whatever you love from this point on. I want you to not tolerate critics. I want you to stay away from negative people. When somebody tells you that there's something that you can't do, I want you to ignore them, because you can do anything that you want to do. And I know you've heard that over and over. And quite often, sometimes, I think when I look back, when I was seated right here 26 years ago, there were some things I didn't understand. I wasn't real sure of myself. You know, I looked around and I go, oh yeah, I can do anything I can. Well, I'm not real sure. And sometimes those put downs are inside us. We're just not real sure of ourselves. But I want to challenge you to find your greatness. You have greatness in you. I know each and every one of you have that. And oftentimes it's who? When you think of great people, when you think of Leonardo da Vinci, when you think of Michelangelo, when you think of John F. Kennedy, Martin Luther King, Abraham Lincoln, Thomas Edison, great people. I want you to find your greatness. It doesn't matter what that greatness is, but I want you to find your greatness. You'll say, well, those people had a special gift, some kind of special talent. They might have been a genius. You know, there was something unique about them. I'm here to tell you they were human beings. And what was the difference between those people and you right now and anybody else out there? They were doers. They were not just talkers and planners. They were doers. They didn't talk about, well, I think I'm going to do this. And a year later, well, I probably should have done that. They were doers. When you look at Thomas Edison, a lot of people said he was crazy. You know, you can't see this electricity. He's going to invent a light bulb. They're saying, well, you're whacked out. You know, you're crazy. And he ignored his critics. And he didn't just plan on how to design a light bulb. He tried it over and over and over and over, and he continued to fail, but he never gave up. He was not a talker or just a planner, but also he followed through and was a doer. When you look at Socrates, a great philosopher, he had to buck the establishment. Everybody told him that he was dead wrong. But he was a doer and not a talker. He knew that he was right. And I want you to think about something, a concept that came to me some time ago. When can you do something? Can you do something 2 years ago? Can you go back 2 years, 4 years? The past is gone. The past 18 years of your life is gone. And I want you to build on the strengths out of those 18 years, but the only time that you can do something is right now in the present moment, right here and now. Can you do something 2 weeks from today? I mean, you can plan on doing it, and planning is very, very important. The next 4 or 5 years of your life will be very important for you to put positive things in your present right now. But the only thing you can do is in the present moment. That's the only time you can do something. So I challenge you to find your greatness. You're a sum total of everything that's happened to you since you were born up to this point. And now I ask you to put positive things in your life today, right now, that will cause you to be the person that you want to be, whatever your dream is, out in the future. If you agree with that you are who you are because of what you've done up to this point, now put more of those positive things in your life. I want to challenge you. It doesn't matter what it is. One of you, I want to go to law school. And I want you to be up at the Supreme Court fighting for equal justice. One of you, I want to go to medical school. And I want you to find a cure for cancer. I want you to find a cure for AIDS. You can do it. You can do anything that you want to do. If you want to build something, I want you to design the best building that was ever built in the world and is recognized that way. One of you, I want to solve world hunger. Many of you are going on to college. I hope you take advantage of that, and that is a good springboard into the future. But if you don't go to college, that's okay. I want you to also be the best that you can possibly be. If you go to work in a manufacturing plant out here, I want you to machine the finest part down to the millionth of an inch that you can possibly do. And I want every person here to remember that learning is lifelong. And the challenge is lifelong. Keep learning, keep growing. And when you're out there in that manufacturing facility, find a better way to do it. Focus on continuous improvement. Find a better process. Automation. When you walk in there, I would like you to go and ask, who is the best machinist in this plant? And then I want you to go to them and I want you to watch them. And then I want you to beg them to teach you everything that they know. So it doesn't matter whether you go to technical school, college, whether you go right to work, whatever you do, be the best that you can be. I challenge you to find your greatness. Every field needs good people. Good people will always be in demand. I want to close with a very brief story, just to give you an example. It doesn't matter what it is when you find your greatness. A friend of mine in high school, young lady. So what what do you want to do when you get out of school? She said, I want to be a waitress. And I go, a waitress? You got to be kidding me. You want to be a waitress? You know, that's crazy. She said, that's right, I want to be a waitress. No, oh, okay. Okay, no problem, no problem. She came to me, she said, you know, I'm going to go to college. I said, well, what are you going to major in? Restauranting. I said, restaurant? You're already working in a restaurant. What do you need to go to college for? I mean, you don't need to go to college to do that. You can do, hey, I'm going to own my own best. I'm going to have the best restaurant in the world. I'm going to own my own restaurant. I want to learn everything there is about business, about restauranting. Oh, okay, no problem, okay. And she graduated from college, and what she actually did was go out and teach restauranting. And she was very good at what she did. And she came to me one day and she says, I'm moving to Texas. I said, well, that's great. You got a job down in Texas? No. I said, well, why are you going to take? Well, I'm just taking off. I want to grow. I want to learn more. I want to do more. I said, yeah, well, you've got a job. You're making $25,000 a year. Why are you going to give that up and move to, no security or anything? She says, because I'm ready to move on. About 7 years later, I got a New York Stock Exchange listed annual report in the mail. And it had a full-page picture of her in there. And Janet was considered one of the best unit managers for Luby's Cafeteria in Texas. She knew she was good. She knew she could find a job. She knew she had prepared herself, and she knew that there would be a place for good people anywhere she went. And she's averaged about $180,000 a year over the last 5 years. Now, I was calling her stupid, but she was willing to take a risk. She was willing not to listen to the critics and the negative people. She was willing to believe in herself. She was willing not to settle for less. Everybody wants to settle, not to settle for less. And she found her greatness. I challenge all of you to find your greatness. Thank you.
Introduce our president, the president of the class of 1993, Ms. Carrie Inman.
It's my pleasure to introduce our three class speakers. First off, we have Ms. Shaylee Kenton.
Say goodbye, but not the last. We sit here anxiously waiting for our diplomas. These diplomas not only signify that we sat behind school desks for the past 12 years, but they also signify what high school really meant to us. And not only will we leave here today with pieces of paper, but we will also leave behind the ghost of our high school past, walking and talking in the halls of Kenton High School. Our laughter will echo among the band classrooms long after we're gone. We all had fears of entering new school, knowing only a handful of people, the school seeming so big, and the older students big and scary. But now as we leave, we have friends that will stay with us forever in heart and soul. The school now seems small compared to what lies ahead, and our classmates seem small and immature. We will now encounter a new fear, a fear of a world that is bigger, more unfriendly, more competitive, and less protective than anything that we've encountered before. In high school, we sat long hours behind the desk, counting the days, down to the final minutes, for this chance to show the world that we are a part of it. But maybe someday, when we are older, we will want to return and have a day to sit behind those desks for the last time, to relive our teenage dreams, listen to a lecture, or maybe think the first time that we saw the first love. The memories of our teenage years are very dear to all of us. Someday, our eyes will glaze over as we tell our children of our hope and fears that we had. But most of all, we will tell them how we became part of the class of 1993. A unique class, each person different in his own way, but each person willing to do all he could to help others. Now, as we walk down the aisle, say our good last goodbyes to the world, we'll also say our hellos to the world and rediscover who we really are. Some of us through college, some of us through work, and some of us through marriage. I'd like to thank you all for being here today to watch the class of 1993 receive its final steps into the real world. This is my goodbye, but it's not my last goodbye, because I truly hope to see you all again. Thank you and goodbye. Next we have
have Miss Anne Marie Lutz. The white rose stands tall and proud, silent and majestic in his brilliant white shroud. A flower strong, a flower free, a worthy symbol of the class of 1993. Family, friends, administrators, faculty, and members of the class of 1993, today we are gathered to witness the dawning of a new season for this graduating class. We as a class chose the radiant white rose to represent what we've shared and what we will become. It is a worthy representative of our generation. In its reflection, we can see ourselves. We started from bare roots. We were planted with care and love in hopes that one day we would be beautiful and pure as white roses that would brighten a dark and crazy world. We were introduced to new soil and soon began to adapt to our new environment. Our roots slowly became established, and we were on our way to becoming a healthy, fragrant addition to this world. We grew through wind and pounding rain, through cold spells that chilled us down to our very roots. With each new obstacle, we became more mature and more independent. We were finding out who we were, and we were preparing to expose our blooms to others who might oppose our ideas and speak against us. There were times when we were afraid to bloom and expose our fragile petals to the persecution of the world. We were scared to bloom, so we stayed hidden. But we learned from each other that it was okay to be different, and that our differences made each individual special. Then we bravely bloomed, each flower unique and beautiful, in all of our pure white splendor. We became more powerful and independent, ready to face whatever danger the garden might produce. We came face to face with many troubles as we grew in the garden, but even in the midst of disease and despair, we didn't let ourselves wilt and die. When we lost one of our own, did we not bow our heads and allow the tears to flow freely, as the rose silently mourns in the dark hours before dawn, the dew sorrowfully rolling along each drooping petal? But we drew our strength from each other, from our intertwined roots. Then we raised our petals to the hopeful rays of the sun and let ourselves be comforted by each penetrating beam. The rose is strength, the white rose is hope. There were many sunny days we spent together, happily sipping our water and frolicking beneath the clear blue sky. These were times that we'll never forget, seeds of joy sown in our hearts forever. And now it is time for our season to end together. As the sun sets in the west, we are silently shedding our petals and preparing to move on. Our minds float back over the storms and droughts, but they stop when remembering the splendor of all the rainbows we've shared, hand in hand, leaf in leaf. A few heavy drops of dew roll down our gentle petals in the light of a new dawn. We must have faith that we will once again bloom in our new season, more beautiful and powerful than ever. The white rose stands tall and proud, silent and majestic in his brilliant white shroud. A flower strong, a flower free, a worthy symbol of the class of 1993. Thank you. Superintendent, Mrs. Lassie Sarver, Mr. Sturgeon, Mr. Klingler, Mr. Spencer, Mr. Heilman, Mr. Roby, Mrs. Shope, to our parents, teachers, friends, family, and to the graduating class of 1993. Today, we pause and reflect on the past, celebrate the present, and look ahead to tomorrow. Our minds are filled with different yet unique emotions. Some hearts are filled with gratitude and joy. We are flowing with the happiness of love and the joy of life. We are eager to confront the day and to make the world a better place in which to live. Some hearts may ache with sorrow. Disappointments weigh heavily upon them. In many ways, we have tasted despair and are frightened to take the challenge of life and what is yet to come in what we call the real world. Some hearts are embittered.
We have sought answers in vain and felt that we have been betrayed. Now having nowhere to turn, we conceive life has lost its true meaning and value. Some hearts still hunger. We hunger for friendship, crave for understanding, and yearn for warmth. But tonight, all of our hearts should feel a sense of accomplishment. We have achieved a goal we have been working for since each of our childhoods began. From this point on, wherever we find ourselves at any moment of our lives, we will always gain strength from one another, share our joys and sorrows with one another, and together look out for the welfare of our community and, more important, the welfare of our world. However, we have not reached our goal of reaching this day alone. As John Donne said, no man is an island entire of itself. Every man is a piece of the continent, a part of the main. Whether we think so or not, we are indebted to all those who have supported us, no matter what the outcome may have been. To our parents, teachers, friends, and all those who have touched our lives in any way, you have instilled in us the morale and the ethical values to leave here tonight and begin teaching all those who look up to us, who are searching for the answers as we once did. For all of this, we truly say thank you. Seniors, tonight is the beginning of the rest of our lives. Each of us will now be entering this world with various expectations. Because we are challenged to make a difference in this world, we must always strive to better ourselves and never close our minds to all that we still have to learn. Our world is the stage and we are the performers. Each of us has our entrances and each of us has an exit. And still, all of us has a chance to play many different roles. Except this time, it will be for real. We hold the future in our hands. We must accept this challenge, and together we must make a difference. Together we can make a difference. And to my graduating class of 1993, I leave you with this thought. Don't walk in front of me, I may not follow. Don't walk behind me, I may not lead. Just walk beside me and be my friend.
It is my duty and honor to pass on the class spoon. Today is a solemn occasion, and I would like to talk about the future and all that it holds, and all of the paths that we can choose from. Oh, heck, that's boring. Drummer, give me a beat. Okay, I once read a quote, and it said, "You're going to do foolish things, but do them with enthusiasm." So I would like all of the graduates to put your hands together and clap to the beat. We started in school, we proved our point, now we're able to blow this joint. We came in here in '89, thought we'd have a real good time. We didn't know what to expect. Funny now that we reflect. At first it seemed they thought for us. They tried to lead and make a fuss. But now we're here, we get to lead. We finally got our reprieve. It's been real good, it's been real fun, but high school years are over and done. Good luck to you, good luck to all. And if you're down, we'll give a call. We can't ever forget our past. Our memories seem to always last. Friends till the end is what I say. So let's enjoy this glorious day. Oh, one more thing I'd like to add about our favorite missing lad. Tom is here, he's jamming too. We're all together, me and you. Remember the good times, leave the bad, and we'll begin a brand new fad. Miss Van Buster, please arise, and you'll receive the traditional prize. As we gather here this day of June, I'd like to present this old class tune. We wish you well, give all the luck, and hope your year doesn't stink. Thank you. Good luck to you all, and let's show this world exactly what we're made of. But as class president, I am honored to give this annual speech, and I hope we live up to your expectations. I leave the best for all you guys. Thanks.
By the way, the passing of the spoon started back in the earliest record we have of it is in 1906. This is the third spoon. Each year the graduating class engraves their name on it. In the showcase out in front, there are two other spoons which have been filled up over the years. So one of those, the original class, is I think 1906. So that tradition, why it started, I have no idea, but I'm sure there was a valid reason back in 1906 for that. We're here today to sort of see a transformation. I thought about this a little bit. We changed. These folks right now are seniors. They're kids. Last week they had to get a pass to go to the bathroom. And moms and dads, your big obligation, I have heard more parents say over the years, just get them through high school. And I think that's true, that the high school is sort of the turning point, for young people as they become young men and young women. We think of them while they're still in high school as being kids, and they're seniors, and they walk out of here in a few minutes as alumni, as graduates. And it ends up in a different way. It really does. Students, I'd also like for you to be aware that we do think of you as our kids. Your faculty back there has invested a lot in you, and we do think about you over the years. We do watch you in the paper. We'd rather not blow bubbles. Thank you. We've always tried in high school to have graduation itself be sort of a solemn occasion because we do think it's a major event in young people's lives. It does show the transformation from being young people to being young adults. At this time, I guess we're getting ready to get that transformation ready. And I guess as principal of Kenton Senior High School, Mr. Klingler, members of the Board of Education, it gives me a great deal of pleasure to declare that everyone in this class of 1993 has met the standards set forth by the Board of Education, by the State Department of Education, and are thereby eligible to receive their diplomas this evening. Mr. Klingler.
Congratulations, graduates. Isn't it ironic that graduation is sometimes called commencement? While graduation implies it's over, I'm out of here, I'm done. Commencement, on the other hand, a new beginning, a time to start, a place to go forth from. And so it will be, class of 93. You see, you're not graduating from learning. You are commencing to use all the data and the facts that you've learned in school, all the values and attitudes you've learned from your family and your community, and all the beliefs that are your own to solve real-world situations. Learning is a lifelong experience, as has been said here a moment ago. Those who succeed in life work at it because they know how to learn, and how to use their greatest resources, their mind and their determination. Parents, family, teachers and staff, friends, and our entire community that supports our schools. Thank you for helping these young men and women to achieve this high point in their lives. They are a reflection of the honesty, the commitment, the trust, the caring, and the beliefs of their homes in this community. Graduates, may you always strive for excellence in whatever occupation you choose. May you always become the best citizen you can become in whatever community you live. And now it's time for moving on, my friends. But never, never forget the yesterdays of Kenton City Schools. On behalf of the Kenton City School Board of Education, our congratulations, class of 1993. Go get them.
The President and Vice President of the class of 1994 would come forward to lead our graduates to the stage. Members of the Board of Education, if you would take your stations. Okay, if we would lead the graduates forward, please. And the first graduate of the class of 1993, Eric Stephen Alcott. Sherry Marie Allen. Karen Elise Aller, graduating with high distinction. Daryl Lee Allman. Ryan Baker Anderson. Billy Edward Ashbury. David Ray Bartlett. Don Marie Bartlett. Jennifer Renee Bond. Marcy Adele Beeman. Christina Leanne Valier. Judith Ann Black. Heather Pert Blackinger, graduating with high distinction. Michael Sean Bowling. Claudia Bomba. Wendy Lynn Bowman. Mark Robert Bradborn. John Christopher Green, graduating with distinction. Melinda Kathleen Britton. Carrie Lynn Brown. Melissa Sue Brown, graduating with distinction. Wade Patrick Burbank. Christopher Benjamin Butcher. Stephanie Marie Canode. Vanessa Lee Canode. Joseph Allen Castle. Mindy Ann Caudell. Randy Lee Clark. Lori Anna Clement. Susan Kayleen Cole. James Rupert Culver. Alicia Ann Curl. Chandra Lynn Curl. Mark Eugene Curl. Matthew Scott Curl. Alicia Marie Davis, graduating with high distinction. Melissa Marie Dean. Benjamin Britton Deaver. Kevin Sean DeVore. Stephanie Ann Drum. Darren Lee Ellis. Amy Christine Fink. Kelly Ann Fink. David B. Fisher. Andrew Jeremiah Fissel. Craig Warren Fleece. Tanya Lou Frater. Jason William Fulton, graduated with distinction. Patrick Charles Gates. Heidi Renee Getz. Melissa Renee Gooden. Michelle Renee Gross. David Theodore Goodwick. Matthew Aaron Hamilton. Shane Thomas Harber. Jason Lee Harris. Matthew Andrew Marshfield. Don Jolene Hayter. Ryan Patrick Hayter. Anita Lynn Hensley, graduating with distinction. Tamara Renee Hines. Tara Elizabeth Holgrave, graduating with high distinction. Brian Ray Holland. Jennifer Lynn Howe. Ryan George Hudson, graduating with distinction. Jason Ryan Hughes. Carrie Ann Inman, graduating with distinction. David Paul Jardot, graduated with distinction and 4 years perfect attendance. Tony Michelle Jett. Jeffrey James Jollop. Bradley Michael Joseph, graduated with high distinction. Danielle Marie Cowell. Shayla Ann Kanzig. Gary Allen Kerr. William Allen Kirk. Mark Gregory Lehman, graduating with distinction. Donald Raymond Lake Jr., graduating with high distinction. Jonathan Corey Lewis. Kara Maya Lewis. Marcia Lynn Long. Jeremy Allen Lowe. Anne Marie Lutz, graduating with distinction. Brian Keith Mann. Michael Ernest James McLeish. Misty Regina McMillan. Jan Michael Mendenhall. Martin Andrew Miller, graduating with distinction. Randall Earl Morris. Scott Allen Murphy. Aaron Andrew Musson. Michelle Lee Mustang. Scott Asher Newman. Jared Omo Jensen. Ian Carl Patton. Rena Nicole Pearson. Billy Joe Piper. Gregory Allen Puckett. Kelly Joe Purcell. Judy Lynn Quay, graduating with high distinction. Aaron Lee Reed. Kay Marie Richardson. Heather Joe Reisner. Lacey Renee Reisner. Ray Robinson. Jason Matthew Shooting. Mark Bradley Swimmer. Joshua Aaron Sexton. Toby Ryan Shamlin. David E. Sheets. Jennifer Gail Sherman. Wesley Dwayne Sherwood. Keith Michael Choate. Tanya Renee Siebenek. Jason Glenn Smith. Tara Lee Smith. Tiffany Lynn Smith. Christopher Michael Sprang. Scott David Stein. Heather Christine Steiner, graduated with distinction. Curtis Richard Stevens. Shane Douglas Stover. Jacqueline Stockton. Michael Brett Stein. Nicole Lee Swinehart. Michelle Lee Lynn Tackett. Shoko Tanaka. Mark Allen Taylor. Lori Lynn Teeter. Rico King. Brian David Turk. Mary Teresa Wallace. Benjamin Michael Thorngrove. Dennis Floyd Wells Jr. Gary Lee Wells. Amber Marie West. Christopher Jeffrey Whipple, graduating with distinction. Amy Lynn Wilcox. Jack Leonard Williams. Williams. Holly Ann Wool, graduating with the high distinction. Michelle B. Woodruff. Stephen Wendell Zeri. And the final member of the class of 1993, Justin Jeffrey Zerby. Before we continue, I'd like to introduce again our Superintendent of Schools, Mrs. Master Sarver. Please join her in a moment.
Congratulations to all of you. I hope that you will now, each in your own way, join me in a moment of silent reflection.
Thank you. You're not seniors anymore, you're graduates. Now remember, we're going to parade out of here so you go back by your parents. One last sort of where they can give you the coupon. There's two things you got to do. One, I got to declare you graduates. And I suppose you guys want to do something, and then you're going to walk out of here. Okay. I hereby declare you graduates. Turn your tassels. Remember, you got to turn a hat back in when you get done, yeah. Mr. Ganger, are you ready to march them out of there? Everybody please join me. Let's see these